There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and as high as my hair, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going our way. 3, 2, 1. Slurp it, baby. Oh, welcome to the Golden Age. You are watching Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. We're going to talk about the fact that we are in the Golden Age. Even though the price of gold has gone down a little bit, we'll take a look at the live gold, silver, platinum prices. We'll talk about the new Golden Age, which we are already in. It's going to continue for the next 4 years and beyond. And we've done the Synchronised Slurp already. I didn't even announce it. Use the time codes below to go to your favorite part, but if you're watching live, you get to enjoy every single thing we do here, including the shout-outs and all that. Yes, the hair is really high. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow, I think. Yeah, good to see you. Who am I? I'm Joe Main. I've worked in the precious metals industry in Australia for 11 years, been a stacker for longer than that. Now I do this weekdaily live show every single weekday morning. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. You get a warm and fuzzy feeling when you do. It just surges throughout your veins like the caffeine that is surging through your veins right now. And hit the like button as well because it helps with the algorithm. Morning, everyone. Great day. Great to see you. Let's see. GMS Pete. G'day, Pete Repeat. Good to see you. Morning, Joe. Morning, Jason. How are you feeling today? Jace, good day? I'm just scrolling there. It's a great day for everyone, almost everyone. Mark, Florida. GMS, great to see you in the house. And Pete Repeat says, a nice dip in gold this morning. Now, I have a feeling that not as many people have gotten the notification because I actually set up the live stream before, last night, so about a 12-hour window. So not everyone's getting their little notification now. You may have got it in the middle of the night. So I'm going to wait a couple of minutes just while everyone comes in. I'll adjust the light here as well. It's just all over the place, isn't it? I really just need... No, that's not good enough. I don't like that. That's not good. That's a little bit better. Yeah, whatever. Chris King from the UK says, GMS, give me some silver hope. I'll give you some silver hope. No problem. We are in the Golden Age. It's going to be absolutely amazing from a gold and precious metals perspective, from other perspectives as well. We'll talk about all of it. We will do some comments, etc., but we'll just get through first a few things. Of course, the show is brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, and WealthStack, wealthstack.com. I'll wait for a couple more people to roll in because, again, the notifications may not have gone out in the usual way. So while we're here, I'm going to get them out of the way really, really quickly. Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, my preferred bullion dealer. If you want the best deals on gold and silver, including free shipping when you buy over a certain amount, which no other bullion dealer in Australia has ever dared to do until now, then you should be going to Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, perthbullion.com.au. Check out their amazing range of gold and silver bullion. Platinum as well. Now they've got platinum in the house, which is good. Fantastic. Great deals, etc. And don't forget, when you are a member, and I'll put it up right here, when you're a member of my private GMS membership program, you won't be buying for the singular price. You'll instantly be buying for the tiered discount below, right? So if you buy 20 of these as part of my private membership program, which I'll put a link to in just a second, if you want to buy 20 of these, you don't pay that price. You instantly go down to the next tier. You pay that price, okay? The savings over time, if you're buying over a certain amount of ounces or grams or whatever per year, you're in the black pretty darn quickly. And also you get exclusive content with my private membership program, which I will show you the link to, which is right here. goodmorningstackers.locals.com/support. goodmorningstackers.locals.com/support. Head over there right now. Just check it out. It is $10 per month. roughly works out to about 180 Australian dollars per year at current exchange rates. Exclusive content, these amazing discounts from Perth Bullion Exchange, and the private community as well, which is 24/7. You can go in there anytime you like and talk with each other. Jason Razana. We'll do a couple more shout-outs, and then we'll get to the topic of the day and take a look at gold, silver, etc. Jason Razana. G'day, champions. Jason, I've never seen you on the show before. Are you a long-time subscriber, first-time live chatter? Post a comment below. All right, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it now. Then we'll do live gold, silver, platinum analysis. Welcome to the golden age. A lot of people are not happy today with the result, but about a lot of people, probably about half the population of the world, is very happy with the outcome, and of course, everyone in America too. So, post a comment below. Tell me your thoughts. Are you what's the word? Are you in despair? Are you feeling good about it? Are you feeling positive, etc.? I'd like to know. But of course, as you know, 45 became 47. They called it yesterday, and it was looking touch and go for a second there. Apparently, apparently those in the know knew it was pretty much a lock, based on probably their internal polling and whatnot. But for us just watching, we're like, there was one point where Pennsylvania the votes had just started, and I watched it, as it was rolling along, and Pennsylvania came out because that was the key state, one of the key states. And the first lot of voting came out, and it was like 75%, like 25% Trump, 75%. I'm like, and it would be like 20% of the vote was in. I was like, oh God. And then it just slowly crept over, and then wins all of the swing states. And it also looks like he's taking the House as well. So 45's become 47. Looks like the House is a lock, the Senate's in a lock, and the presidency's in a lock. As well. Kelsey says, too early for singing. It's never too early for singing. Morning, everyone, says Knackers O'Reilly. Great to see you. Better than the camel. Better than karma. And Jason Ashworth on this topic says, all I can say is the film Idiocracy has become a documentary. Oh, good luck to... Isn't this funny, though? Good luck to Americans watering their crops with Gatorade. So if you haven't seen the film Idiocracy, written by Mike Judge, who was the King of the Hill guy, King of the Hill, the very famous animation. It was written in the late 90s, early 2000s, I think it was. And it came out, and it wasn't a huge hit, but it became a cult following, similar to a movie like Office Space. But anyway, funnily enough, in that movie, they're all wearing Crocs. So like the population, so basically it's in the future where something happened, and I don't know why, but everyone's like dumber than a box of bricks. And it's the hilariousness that ensues because, politics and this, that, and the other. But they all the population wear Crocs. And it's interesting, in 2024, what did I see a dude not ironically wearing? Crocs. They're back, man. So yeah, a little bit of idiocracy because of the footwear. But no, this is a golden age, Jason. It's an absolute golden age. You are going to see, in my humble opinion, and you may disagree, and that's okay, because we love disagreement here. You are going to see a golden age. I think we're here, and particularly in the gold price, we're going to see that. We'll take a look at that. But at least for the United States, and I can't speak about anywhere else in the world, but for the United States, I think you're going to be doing better in the next 4 years. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to be economically wonderful. There's probably still going to be a recession of some kind. There is 99.99% sure there is still going to be a recession, a stock market, an economic crisis of some kind, a big drop in the share market, for example, 50% move over like a couple of years, something like that. So that's still, all of that stuff doesn't really change, but it's about the impact of it. May not be as bad potentially over the next 4 years when it does happen. For example, you got Elon Musk, one of the smartest people currently alive, the Henry Ford of our time, is going to be on the team. Is already on the team. Going to be on the team with the Department of Doge. So that's the Department of Governmental. What was it? Oh, Department of Governmental Efficiency. So basically doing a what's his name? Argentina, a Milei style cut of this, cut, this wasteful department, this corruption, this, that, and the other. And hopefully with the House and the Senate, etc., all these things will get done pretty quickly, hopefully. And so I think you're going to see spending cut heaps and for the better. He came into Twitter. He bought Twitter, incredibly overvalued, $44 billion, way more, but he wanted to do it to save free speech. And I thank him publicly for that. Well done. It's one of the reasons why we're in the situation today that we are right now. And so he's going to, like he did, he came in with Twitter and sacked 80% of them straight away, 75, 80%, because like, what do you do? Oh, I'm the blah, blah, blah. It's like, what function do you have here? So just cut. And then it's turned in a very quick amount of time. I think they're on track to start making profits really, really soon. I mean, in a couple of short years. I mean, who does that? You know, that's the perfect CEO move. You come in, you slash all the wasteful stuff, and then you build back again. And so I think with Elon as part of the Department of Government Efficiency, that's going to do really well for the states. Again, we're not talking about Australia, we're talking about the states, okay? But I do think where the states go, we tend to follow as such, you know. If the United States has a huge economic downturn, or if the states go belly up, it's like a domino effect, the rest of the world. So we want the states to do well, okay? Even if they're in competition with us with trade, etc., we want them to do well. It's a quid pro quo. It's, you know, you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. You know, it's making good deals. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, golden age of health. Okay, you've got Robert F. Kennedy Jr. make America healthy again. Immediately wants to cut fluoride out of the water. Yep. Immediately wants to get education change for like the food pyramid, which is a bunch of bullshit. The food pyramid is crap. It was made up by Kellogg's. Well, not made up by Kellogg's, but Kellogg's had a part of it. This whole like 5 servings of cereals and grains and things every day is absolute. You basically need to flip the food pyramid the other way around. And that's basically how diet and optimal health really works. Okay. You want good fats. You want good this, you want red meat. You want this, you want that. Okay. This is all the new science that's coming out, Harvard studies and all that stuff. It's all slowly switching. So, and then, hey, and for you people who are, call it, you know, jab skeptical, that's great. You want Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to be in there to go, hey, listen, you know, I don't think the jabs for everything are a bad thing, but you just got to look at the schedule. You got to look how they're timed and how they're made and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so just Elon and Robert F. Kennedy Jr., golden age, man. No new wars, probably. The Ukraine war, my prediction is the Ukraine war with Russia will be done, let's say easy. I mean, this is easy. Within the first 6 months of the presidency. There's quite likely it will all be sewed up on day one because he's now president-elect. So what happens? All the stuff gets talked about now, okay? So you never know. By January the 20th, by Inauguration Day, the Ukraine war could be over by then, but I'm going to be generous and say within 6 months. Guaranteed. So no new wars. Cool. How about putting terrorist organizations back in their place where they don't have money anymore to do their terrorist things? That's kind of good too. So I'm betting on no new wars. I'm betting on health and common sense coming back in, and I'm betting on slashing of complete wasteful stuff, right? Which, you know, goes down to reduce their debt. That's a very big thing. That's the one thing that we and I'm sure you guys do too. You think about it, it's like, well, what about the debt? What do we do about that? Excuse me. It seems to be quite insurmountable. There might be a pathway, but here's the thing, right? If there was a pathway to reduce America's debt to a reasonable level, the only people that could do it would be the people in power right now. Someone like an Elon with a combination of good economists and things like that who, you know, follow sort of more like what's the word I'm looking for? Austrian economics, that kind of thing. Excuse me, I'm going to be adjusting this all day. So this is why I think it's a golden age coming. I absolutely believe that to be the case. How that affects Australia, I don't know. But again, the health of the largest superpower in the world is good for us. Okay, it's not bad for us, for anyone else in the rest of the world. We want them to be healthy. We want them to be rich, and we want them to be. It's just like trickle down economics, right? You don't want there to be. Everyone's the same in terms of a wealth level. You want there to be really rich people, because why? Really rich people got rich because they started businesses. What did the businesses do? They hired you. Okay, or you started your own business, and because of free market capitalism, you were allowed to take it to wherever it is for you right now, and you're hiring people. You are feeding other people's families, right? That's what we want. So in a larger macro country thing, we want the states to do really well. And I think they will absolutely. Well, they're going to be doing a lot better than they would have if the other guys had gotten in. Now, does that stop money printing? No. Could they keep printing money? Yes, probably. That's good for us precious metals as well. But I don't think anything that happens with the states is going to stop the flow of capital into precious metals. You're going to see a little bit of a rise, and we have seen it in the stock market yesterday. You saw it in crypto yesterday as well. So they might go through their bit of their honeymoon period. Okay, I don't know for how long. Crypto, I'm not sure. It could be a year from now. It could be 9 months to a year from now where you see a top in crypto, potentially, because Trump is much more, the Republicans are much more randomly. How random is that? They're just quite pro-crypto, okay, whereas the Dems were more regulating. Well, regulation is good, but more anti-crypto. For example, I think we're looking good. Right, and I'm just going to remain optimistic, okay? So we are in the golden age, and we're going to take a look at the price of gold today and look at the little dip, etc. But I'll get your final comments on this. Let's see. Jason says, been tuning in via, thanks, been tuning in via Facebook for a bit, not officially logging in. Great to be here. May have met you in the bullion shop. Yeah, you may have. Quite possibly, Jason. When I worked at Bullion Now between 2019 to 2022, if you were there at that time, I probably served you at some point. Let's see, or Goldstackers. I didn't serve people at Ainslie because I was just pure social media. Chris King, Crocs are quite popular in the UK now. Yeah, Idiocracy, it's back. Debt is great. GMS. Jason Ashworth, cut all the people that may regulate his businesses. No, yeah, but look, if someone can, if that's an added benefit, again, like you got to think about it, Jason. Like, you're in my humble opinion, and this is just my opinion, right? You either think some people can think there is only one motive to do something. Oh, he's only doing it because it helps him. There's never, ever one reason to do something, ever. Now, I know you're winking and, being all tongue-in-cheek, but for the serious part of it, there's never one reason why just someone does something, usually, and something big like, cutting taxes or cutting regulations. I want it to be good for his businesses because it's a business. If it's good for his business, it's good for all businesses. So he's really, and I choose to believe, you can't read minds, but there's nothing that tells me that he's doing it for only purely selfish reasons, okay? A rising tide raises all ships. You get rid of regulations, you lower taxes, you invite, and it's the incentive for all the companies, Nike, Apple, all the ones that get all their crap made in Asia for slave wages, basically, right? To come back and to base themselves in the United States. That builds up the United States. Okay, that's good for all businesses. Now, if it helps his business, great, good, right? I want you, Jason, to make $1 billion. I want you to do that because what you will do is you'll put a portion of that into charity, or you'll start a business and you'll start employing people. Okay, the richer you are, the more things that benefit you, the more it benefits the people around you. Okay, that's good. So I want that to happen for you, and that's good that it's happening for Trump. Great. If it's a win-win situation, that's what you want. Win-win. All businesses, get better, whatever better means. And so does his. Good. Great. Higher for longer global rates, for sure. That's quite possible, yes. Niels Han Dynasty. I don't even know what that means, but that's okay. Buy silver, platinum, and crystallized osmium. Is this the osmium guy, or is this a different osmium guy? By the way, we have to talk about osmium. We won't do that today. I really want Gerald Draper. If this is Gerald Draper, I want you to come on the show to talk about this osmium thing that I'm really interested in. So let me know. Typical Labor government. The tobacco company. Oh, really? The tobacco company came up with the food pyramid. Really? That's random. Why would they come up with the food pyramid? That's weird. Is that because it gets people addicted to cigarettes? I don't know how that is, but I'm going to take your word for it. Beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. I just had a beautiful bacon and egg breakfast. My eggs fried in butter. Just brilliant. And a couple of strips of bacon. I'm full. My head is clear. I don't crave anything. I'm satiated, and I'm not jittery or anything. I haven't got gross bread and grains and gluten through my body. I just feel fantastic. Mark, Florida. Yes, exactly right. Beef, butter, and bacon and eggs. Ron Panhard says, Trump is saying Europe has to deal with the Ukraine war as the US needs to concentrate on China. Yes, that's his opening bid. Yep, that's his opening bid. So he'll say something grandiose like, we're not taking care of that anymore. Europe, you deal with it. Right? And that's the opening bid. And they'll go, well, you can't let us do it because no, don't let us do that. No, we'll give you anything you want. It's the classic Trump move. Okay, so, and he might be serious about that, like he did with the UN. He goes, you know what? You're all supposed to be paying 2% of your GDP into the UN, but we're like paying the lion's share, like 95% or something. So if you don't start paying your share, we're out. We're not going to protect you. And everyone went, oh, crap. Okay, well, and they just got caught. It's like, okay, we got away with it for so long, right? So this is a similar thing. It's the opening gambit. Doesn't necessarily mean it'll be that, but it's his big, he always opens with a big play. It's Persuasion 101. Persuasion 101. If you're buying a used car, or if you're selling a used car, do you advertise it at the $5,000 that you're happy? I'll take it for $5,000. Like, I'll sell it for $5,000. No, you put it at $7,500, and then someone goes, I'll give you $6,000 for it, and you go, oh, $6,000. Man, $6,000. I don't know if I can do $6,000, but I could do $6,200. And they go, okay, deal. And you go, oh, great, I made more money, right? You always bracket up, and that's what Trump does. He brackets up. I think you're spot on, Joe. I am spot on. You're making me hungry, Pete. You're making me hungry. Rod, so the debt is too big. It is. It's mathematical certainty that's going to overwhelm the US. Yep, it's probably quite likely. Yes, I do agree with that. Unless, as I said, it's probably likely, 99.99% sure. The only people that could do it is the current administration, who could do it with a slim chance. So I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think, again, the landing might be softer versus a previous administration or a different administration getting in. Visiting BN today. Good on you, mate. Good to see. The debt is huge. Yeah, absolutely. Debt is great. The 1% of these elites will keep lining their pockets. Yeah, of course they do. But how do they do it? They do it with regulations. They do it with getting in the pockets of the senators. This is in the States, right? Of the senators, of all the people who create the legislature. All the lobbyists come in for the rich people and go, hey, you should, why don't you give me this little legislation, this law that happens to go in my favor. And by the way, I'd love to donate to your daughter's charity. When you're finished with the Senate, we've got a job open for you. It pays $500,000 a year. And you get stock options too. But, we'd really love it. I'm not saying you should, but we'd really love it if you could help us out just this little bit. By the way, love your artwork. Your artwork's amazing. I'll buy one of those. Oh, your house. Oh, is your house up for sale? Ah, well, you know what I mean? So that's how they do it. So Trump wants to cut a lot of these regulations to disincentivize that stuff. Okay, but the 1% will probably always get away with it. Let's see. If it was George Soros that was funding and going to be part of Kamala's administration, I'm sure you would have the same view. Why? If it was George Soros that was funding and going to be part of Kamala's administration, I'm sure you would have the same view. Why? And I think you're being sarcastic. George Soros, and well, really now his son, because George Soros is like a million years old and getting a little bit, senile. Why? Why would I have the same view? Two completely different variables. Why? George Soros has done X, Y, Z. Elon Musk has done X, Y, Z. So I don't really understand the question. I don't know. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not. But no, two completely different variables. Kelsey Wheeler. G'day, Kelsey Wheeler. Static window film is what? Static window film is pretty amazing. Just saying. I use it in my home office. I don't know what you are on about. What's that got to do with? Maybe I missed something there. Mark Florida says, how about President-elect mandate the US Mint? Ooh, make all future coinage 90% silver. Yes, I back that. Right now, President-elect, I do. I agree. Hey, Trump, please make all future coinage 90% silver. Thanks. Can you do that for me? That'd be lovely. Thank you so much. So that's kind of my final thoughts on it. I think it is, unless we've got some last comments, then we'll do live gold, silver, platinum analysis. Maybe time for a chart request. Not quite sure, but I really do believe this is the start of a new golden age. This light is just killing me, man. Killing me. Let me do that. No, that's not even helping. God damn. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry I have to do that every single time. I'm going to have to go back to the other office. There we go. Glare in your... Oh, that's what you're saying. Sorry, duh. Static window film. Yes. I shall buy some static window film. That's a great idea. That's a brilliant idea, and I'll get the diffuse light. Kelsey, you're a legend. Now I know what you're talking about. Thank you. You were just trying to be helpful. And I appreciate that. Yes, glare in my windows, I think. That would save me, wouldn't it? Yes, I'd live for us to go back to 90% silver coins. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? That'd be fantastic. So that's it. That's my final thoughts. It's a good day. It's a good day, and let's celebrate it. I think I can't say only good things are going to happen from here. So yes, recession's going to happen. Stock market's going to crash 50% probably again over a period of time. It'll go through have a big dip and then probably consolidate for could be a year or a year and a half, something like that. So that will happen. But in the meantime, what's it doing versus gold? Okay. So we'll take a look at that in a second. I do feel we're in a golden age now. Everything looks more positive than it did before. And that's what I'm going to remain with. That's it. So I'm happy today. I hope you're happy today too. And even if you didn't get your preferred person to get in, I hope you are eventually happy. So that's it, people. Let's do live gold, silver, and platinum analysis. We're going to take a look at gold in particular. Well, we always take a look at gold. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. You get week daily live price analysis on the precious metals. We'll take a look at gold. We'll take a look at the macro view. We'll see the price, what it's done overnight. We've had that dip, but it's a golden age for gold as well. It is really going to be good for gold and silver too at the same time. So let's take a look at the prices. Let's share the screen. Share the screen, brah. $2,660 per gold ounce. As I said, price in USD. Using the tradingview.com website, it is the weekly time frame. All right, we are back here. So what happened? Out of interest. Ho hum, not ho hum. So the huge move. Let me go back to the monthly. Okay, we've had a huge move, people. First top there at $2,070. double top. So then a longer and larger consolidation. So it went down quite a lot, and it was for a decent period of time, from March 2022 to November. Okay, so that huge move from the double top there, 2070, all the way back down to 1630. Woo! Then a triple top, but triple tops aren't a thing. Yes, we had a consolidation, but nowhere near, it wasn't done. Triple tops aren't a thing where you have double top and then you come back again for a third time. You don't go back to lower than that it did in the double top. Okay, it's usually just a little blip along the way. They're not usually a thing. So triple tops, not a thing. Had to move back down to 1830, and since October of 2023, so for the last year, look at this on the monthly time frame. But we have had a golden move since October. That is a 54% move in gold in the last 12 months. That's ridiculous. Okay, what have I been saying since we came up to the mother of all trend lines, which goes back to 1980? What have I been saying? We are looking peaky. We have been looking peaky. Okay, since then. So I said anytime from here up until a certain point, and I said, it could get as high as 2,875 to 3,000 US dollars, anywhere up to there. But anywhere between here and here, we are looking peaky, and it could peak anytime from hitting the mother of all trend lines right there. I would say now, look, we haven't closed below yet, and if we do, I will say it. We've come back down to test the mother of all trend lines. This is again on the weekly time frame. We pop on the relative strength index. Okay, yeah, no, I'm going to call it. All right, so the peak is in. So the short-term peak is in. That's it. So we've had a beautiful run up to 2,780 on the weekly time frame. It really looks like that the short-term peak is in. So I don't think now we are going to see. No, I think on the monthly time frame as well, it looks like that might be the peak. Could be wrong, okay? So I'll give it an 80% chance. There's a 20% chance because we are not below the mother of all trend lines. We haven't closed a month below it. You could see, you could see a quick spike back up. On the weekly though, we're trending back down into the to the normal range of the relative strength index. Look, you could bounce from here. This could be a fake out and we head back up there. Absolutely could happen. But it's looking now, this is probably 80% chance the short-term peak now is in, and we're going to see a bit more of a retrace. But it is still a golden age for gold. This is just the little trough along the way. Okay, let's take a look at the next levels down. If this is the short-term peak. So we'd take a look at percentages maybe. It looks like it's peaked to me from here, and other people have said so, and I tend to agree with them. So we are 5% down. A down move to down here would be about 12%, so that's down to about 2,450. That's a previous level of resistance right there. So even there, that would be decent. That would be a decent move, in the next few months. Yeah, that'd be a decent retrace, about 12%. Some people think it could be more like a 20 to 25%. So then you'd be talking something like here-ish at about your 2150 to 2250-ish. That's about your 20% kind of move. Let me find my best buy zone. Where have I had my best buy zone drawn in for a long time? Okay, this is way before we hit any of these kind of areas. This is like back in May when I started the show. Let's see, best buy zone. My best buy zone still remains, and I will keep it there at between 2,250 US dollars per gold ounce and 2,150 per gold ounce. I'll chuck in a couple of trend lines as well. That one is one that you need to be aware of. Let me pop in. No, that's the one I want. And nope. Excuse me. No, that's the mother of all trend lines. I want that one. Let's see. Any further ones? That's the one I just hid. My apologies. Don't worry. I've got one coming down as well, but never mind. So If we break the mother of all trend lines, at least look for a test of 2,450, at least. Okay, so that's about a 12% move, something like that. Okay, watch for this kind of general area. I'll do it in a rectangle. Okay, you're looking for something like 2,400 to there. So that might be an area, okay, around about there-ish that you could see an area of support at. Okay, and that's again like a 12% move, back down, back up from there, crack it back up through the mother of all trend lines after, again, this is the weekly time frame. On the monthly time frame, you do that in a couple of months, you know, over the Christmas period, a little bit lax, everyone's focusing on the holidays, etc. And maybe, you know, people sell out of their precious metals to buy Christmas presents and all that kind of stuff as well. Yeah, down to there would be a decent retrace, and then back onwards and upwards, that would be lovely. The deeper retrace is down here to the best buy zone. I don't think you would hit here. That's more unlikely. I've got that rectangle drawn in somewhere. What's that? I don't remember. Right here. That one there. 2080 to 2150. That's probably the real bottom end of the zone. But because of this trend line as well, I'm more inclined to think that we would respect this trend line. So that's the big one you would want to respect. You wouldn't want to close below there. So let me type in that. I'm going to type in, excuse me, I'm going to type in, really? Jeez. No, oh, I can't do text. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Excuse me. Respect this, please. Cool, let's do that. Yeah, can I save that? Yes, I can. Okay, respect this, please. Respect that trend line. You might find that in the next couple of months, I'm not saying it's getting down to the best buy zone, but just watch out for it, okay? I'd really love to see it bounce off that 2,400-ish kind of area and then break back up, but I do think the short-term peak is in. Okay, so I do think lower prices are coming. 80% chance at the peak. The short-term peak is in, and wherever we find that bottom, after that, once it cracks back above the mother of all trend lines, it is in go time, okay, for precious metals. So imagine if you decided to wait. No, I mean, let me start that again. I don't think you should wait. Imagine if you decided you're dollar cost averaging, right, and it started going down to 2,400, or maybe even went down to the best buy zone of, you know, 2250 to 2150, and you've dollar cost averaging down, and for some reason you buy a little bit more down in this area, and then, hey, starts cracking back up, back over the mother of all trend lines, has a retest, and then onwards and upwards. That's what you want to see for the future. And talking about the future, really, this is where we're heading, in my humble non-financial advice opinion. So am I saying 100% it's going there? No. Let me get rid of that because it's really flippin' annoying, actually. So no, you can go. 8,000 to 10,000 US dollars within the next 10 years. Seems like it's a lock. Give or take a couple of $1,000. Okay, so $5,000 gold by 2034, no brainer. Okay, why? Because the capital rotation is happening. We are going to see a recession. We are going to see a big dump in the stock market because it's always happened and it will always happen again. Okay, it's been due for it. It's coming. So you're seeing this capital rotation into precious metals. And so it moving to 8,000 to 10,000 per ounce gold in USD is very doable and definitely within the next 10 years. Like, look at that. Look at that. This is on the monthly time frame. Look at it on the quarterly time frame. A bit of noise here, sorry. But look at that. Look at that move in the early 2000s, right? Look at that line. That can be easily done again. Easily. Let's say it's starting from there after breaking out. That's something like that. That's so easy to do. By 2034, dead easy. Okay, so that's what's coming. It is a golden age for gold and precious metals. Where gold goes, silver does tend to follow. Whether silver does outperform gold in the longer term, we don't know exactly. We will take a look at the gold to silver ratio, but that's gold. Basically, it's looking great in the longer term, but now watch out for I think the short-term peak is in. We are trending down on the relative strength index. We've got a lot of room to move. I did say on the 4-hour that we were on the 4-hour time frame. We'd already gone into extremely oversold or undervalued on gold. So you might see a little pump in gold in the next day or two. So it could pump back up to about $2,700. But it does feel like that could be the relief rally that then ticks over and back down into the underneath the mother of all trend lines and back down again. Because look, relative strength index on the daily time frame, you've got a lot of room to move down. The weekly time frame, you've just started ticking over, okay? And on the monthly, you've just started ticking over as well. It looks peaky, very peaky from here. So 80% chance. 20% hopefully I'm wrong, and then we just sail to the moon from here, but that's not how prices work, right? But we're above the mother of all trend lines, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. You could see this as a beautiful wick. Hey, that might be great. And then we continue to 28.75 to 3,000 before we see the short-term peak. But I'm going to call 80% chance short-term peak is starting now. Cool. That is gold. Let's take a look at silver. 31.21 USD. Let's take a look at that. On the order, we're on the logarithmic scale as we do. That's on the monthly, my apologies. Yeah, here's the daily time frame. So, what have we respected so far? We've respected so far the final hurdle of $31. We had a spike below, but we closed above it. Okay, that's cool. What I would caution you though is because I think we're 80%, because I'm 80% sure that gold is now in its short-term peaked, and now it's in its decline for a little bit, a couple of months, maybe a few months. I am 80% sure of that. I have to be therefore 80% sure that we're going to see some lower prices in silver as well. But don't fret. You've got some great support levels that if we get back down to, that's a great opportunity. Okay, you should be dollar cost averaging anyway, but it's a great opportunity if you have extra dry powder, spare dry powder, to be loading up at those areas. If you're the type of person that likes to wait for big dips, I'm telling you, there could be a big dip coming. And let me just show you that. It is, of course, the best buy zone. Let me show you the best buy zone. 1980s Fibonacci. No, best buy zone. Right here. Am I saying 100% it's going back to the best buy zone of 28? Anywhere from down to 28 to 26? No, because we're still above certain areas. But if I'm sure gold's in the short-term peak, 80% sure, I have to say the same for silver. Where gold goes, silver usually follows. So what would indicate that? Breaking below $29.80, okay? Breaking below the final hurdle of 31, it's pretty much a setup for it to test 29.80, which is pretty much a setup to probably break, okay? So I will say 80% chance at this stage. No. I'll say 80% chance we're going to see lower prices, but what those lower prices are, I don't know. So at this stage, I'll give it a 60% chance that we see the best buy zone be hit. So at least to 28 US dollars. Okay, anywhere down to 26 US dollars. What you do not want to see is it start closing days, closing weeks, or closing months below 26. Why? For all my new subscribers, 26 is one of the largest lines in the sand. It was previous massive support. Right here, support, 26, 26, 26. Finally broke it, and then we spent all that time down in here. And then it's been massive resistance for a long time as well, 26. We broke back above it. That's when I started saying 99% in a bull market. It remains the huge line in the sand. I'm happy to spike down to there and then a quick move back up, okay? Where everyone goes, wow, we got back to 26. And technically we had the hit, because you know what we didn't do? Technically, we didn't have the retest of 26. We broke out of it, but look, we technically didn't have the retest. We retested $26.40. We didn't have a retest of the Fibonacci line. You tend to come back, you tend to revisit previous levels of major support after you break out of them. We broke back up here, tested $26.40, screamed up to nearly $35. Could this be the back test? Okay. that would be an area where people would probably, a lot of people would start to really freak out and go, oh my God, it's back below 20, it's below this support, and then it just fakes you out right here, okay? So somewhere between 28 to 26, I think 60% chance at this stage we're getting back to. I think we do see lower prices from here. You would want to watch 29.80 hold if you didn't want to see this area to get to this area, but if you do because you want to load up more, you want to see 29.80 broken and then head down to at least 28. So that would be the call. 60% chance we see 28. My feeling is if you see 28, you're probably more likely to see 26, but yeah, I'd love a bounce there. That'd be great. Wouldn't that be wonderful? You know, you do something like this, that would be great, and then a big V reversal back up to there, inverted head and shoulders, and then something like that. That'd be cool. But I'm just spitballing right now. But I do think lower prices are probably coming. And I'm happy to be wrong, okay? What you would want to see if you don't want to see lower prices, you want to see $31 hold, a quick move on the weekly time frame, back above, something like that. You'd want to see that. And then if we cross 32.50 again, looking really good for further highs coming really, really soon. But for the moment, the top of $37 to $40 in 2024, I wasn't claiming it was going there. I was saying that's the maximum it would get to. Wouldn't get any higher than that. Not looking likely at this stage. Okay, but we're still above 31, so yeah, could be wrong. That is silver, the relative strength index, trending down now on the weekly time frame, on the daily time frame. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, on the monthly. Look, we're at the start of the month, so this could easily flip back up again, okay? So you've still broken out of this area here, you still broke out of there, and that's the area that you would want to watch as support, okay? But that could even lend itself to coming back to testing 28, that comes back to test here and then bounces off. That would be great. So kind of all aligns, really. That is silver. That's my call. 80% chance we see lower prices from here. 60% chance we see the best buy zone hit. I don't think we see anything like, 30 Australian dollars. Nod, wink, wink. I don't think we see anything like that. Kind of 26 the lowest. That's what I think. That's gold, that's silver. Let's do platinum. Platinum on the daily time frame, priced in USD, 988. Gee, what do you know? We found exact support at the 2008 trend line. This trend line here, for my new subscribers, goes all the way back to 2008 in the GFC. Look at that thicker yellow line. Blah, blah, blah. And where did we find support at, which I've been talking about for a long, long time? We found, bang, a spike down to right on it at 970, which is around about a place I said you want to bounce off support there. So look, so far so good. But look, if gold and silver are probably going to see lower prices, I kind of have to say that platinum might too. It's a little bit more disconnected from gold and silver, but so far so good though. I like that spike. So we spiked down to the 2008 trend line at 970, and we spiked right back above and held above this horizontal line, previous resistance there and there, of 980. So that's actually a really good sign. So technically we're still in this area here, which is my cautiously excited area. And we're not in the depressed zone, which is here. So I'm cautiously excited for platinum. I will remain with that because that's the rule that I set for myself. If we close back above 1,005 US dollars, we'll be in my excited zone, and we'll be in my getting really excited zone for platinum if we break and hold 1,030 US dollars. Okay, and we'll talk about the final hurdles and all that stuff later on, but we're not there yet. Cool, that's platinum. If you crack below this trend line, you're probably quite likely to head down to the best buy zone. It's much more likely of 900 to 700 US dollars, somewhere down there. But we're above it, cautiously excited for platinum. That is it, gold to silver ratio, and then we'll do some final comments and we'll get out of here. I don't have time for a chart request. Wow, gold to silver ratio. Gold is kicking silver's ass right now. Again, we made a play below here, confirms silver's long-term dominance over gold. We had a couple of days, less than 48 hours below it. It was a failed move to hold. Oftentimes from a failed move, it was a fast move in the opposite direction. I said, watch out for this trend line right here. We broke above it and tested it as support. This is on the daily time frame. Gold to silver ratio, we broke above, tested as support, bounced off. Now, gee, what do you know? We had a spike up to the any metals game area. Right here is the neutral zone. Here is the neutral zone for any metals game. And we closed, we had a spike, but we didn't close below it. We closed just within it. Okay, so it's any metals game. Gold is outperforming silver at the moment. That just means gold's going down, but silver is going down further. It's a more volatile metal. That's generally, what happens. So we're in the neutral zone. If we start cracking above here, if gold starts doing this against silver, something like, that kind of thing starts closing days above there, then it's probably signaling, and for me it'd be signaling gold's longer term dominance. The gold's final hurdle for me, just so you know, gold's final hurdle to confirm its absolute longer term dominance, and we're talking months and maybe, a year or more, the gold's final hurdle is there at 93.4, its previous level of major resistance. Then you'd be getting into outlying territory. So if that starts getting into outlier territory where you're in a normal range of the gold to silver ratio, and the current normal range for the gold to silver ratio is between roughly that 90 and 70 area there. If you start getting into here, you're getting into the outlying territory. Does that mean you should be buying gold then? No, because at some point, what generally happens is it does go back into the normal range. This is the new normal range, 90 to 70. The old normal range for the gold to silver ratio used to be 70 to 50. That got taken out a while ago, and then the new normal is 70 to 90. Sorry, very busy there. My apologies. But as this is going up, you're like, it's broken over gold's final hurdle. I should be buying gold now. Yeah, no, not necessarily. It's actually in this range here where you should be buying silver instead, because at some point it will revert and probably come back down into the normal range, the new normal range of 70 to 90. So imagine, hey, buying silver up here at 100, and then it goes back down to 90 or down to 70 or, even lower, and then you swap your silver for more gold. That's great. It's only when you want to play the big ranges, okay? It's only when you start getting down into the, I'd say, 70 and below, but possibly even 50 and below area where you would want to start buying gold instead, because it will go back, it will revert to the mean at some point, okay? So as this goes higher, silver is your better play because it will revert to the mean at some point. And you can just average your cost, quote unquote, over time. But we're at 85.3. It's looking all right for gold at the moment. Again, though, don't forget, both silver and gold could be going up, but gold could be going up way quicker than silver. So you might still be doing good with silver in fiat dollar currency. It's just, it would have been a little bit better to be in gold. But does it really matter if later on down the track, when gold's shooting to $8,000 to $10,000 and silver's shooting to wherever it could be a few $100s, definitely triple digits, does it matter that gold's outperforming silver if you're gaining in fiat dollar currency? No, not really. And really, you're measuring your wealth in ratios against other things anyway. Ratio against goods and services, not just your fiat dollar currency. So it's all gravy, baby. That is all of that. Cool. Let's go to final comments and then we'll get out of here. It is the golden age, people. Let's talk final comments and questions. Get your questions in. Great comments, everyone. I'm going to get through all of these. Chris King, do you think a 25% rate cut tomorrow will impact silver in the short term? I don't know. Sorry. If they cut tomorrow, well, if they're cutting, that's money printing, which is then good for precious metals generally. But look, the prices are probably just going to go. I don't know how correlated they really are, because if silver and gold, for example, looks quite peaky, which it does right now, and even if the Fed cut the rates by 25 basis points, I think the price is still probably going to go down to a certain level anyway. So I don't think it really matters. Geez, my hair is really high. I'm going to get a haircut tomorrow. Do I think it will impact silver in the short term? No, not necessarily. I think the price is going to go down to the price it's going to go down to. So no, I don't think it's a big deal. Desi will be a huge shock if they don't cut rates tomorrow. Now, if they don't cut rates tomorrow, then you might see the move in gold and silver head down quicker. Okay, if they don't cut it. Let's see. Do you see silver ending? Not at this stage. No. So I've answered that question. Do I see silver ending the year at 35 to 37? Not at this stage. I would give it a 20% chance at this stage. Chris King, they will definitely cut the rates. Okay. But interested to know if it impacts silver in the very short term, considering the downward trend. I have hope it can push to 37 this year. I don't see it right now. Yesterday, Mr. Slammy did some damage. If gold's short-term peaking here, which it feels like it is, I could be wrong. They could cut rates tomorrow and then gold goes, haha, sucked in. I caught you out at the mother of all trend lines and I didn't break it, and now it's back up to the $28.75 to $3,000 level before the major one. Yeah, that could happen. Okay, because don't forget we've only opened the month as well. So what do we say about the first parts of time frames? We're only in the first 7 days of November. So that could mean we've had this little spike down and that's the fake out. So that could happen. I'm just kind of 20% chance I could be wrong. Happy to be wrong. But I don't see it. I don't see 37 this year. If you're a long-term holder, who cares about the year-end price? Exactly. Dollar cost average is the way to go. I have CFDs and barely made it out alive yesterday. Ooh, I have some physical. From now on, this is the way to go. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, with CFDs, you need to manage margin calls. Yeah, and interest costs, correct. Don't mess with them. I used to trade CFDs and gave up a number of years ago. Physical is far more profitable longer term. Or, you don't just have to do physical. I love my physical metal, but you don't have to. You can get something like the SLV, which is an ETF. It's not a CFD. So, you don't have to worry about margin calls and this and that and interest and all that sort of stuff. You just buy the SLV. And that's a way, to have exposure to the physical metal without having to touch it. You can buy unallocated from Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, or wealthstack.com. You could also buy unallocated gold from Wealthstack, wealthstack.com, my other brand partner. If you head to wealthstack.com, thank you for the reminder. Wealthstack.com, an amazing unallocated gold program. Silver is coming. Platinum will be coming. They're a brand new company, Australian-owned, Australian-regulated. I did an interview with the CEO. Check that out on my channel. Just type in Wealthstack CEO in YouTube, and there's no other Wealthstack CEO, so that'll be the first video that comes up. Watch that. Amazing program. Amazing for you potentially, or your normie friends. Spot plus 1% to buy gold. And it's held for you physically. It is in your name, but it's an unallocated program, so you don't get a specific serialized bar in your little baggie, right, in the giant storage facility, which is one of the largest storage facilities in the world. Okay, LBMA registered, all that good stuff. But you can send this to your normie friends because they can buy gold at the touch of a button. Really easy with the Wealthstack app. So Android or iPhone, it is amazing. All I would ask you to do, if you do nothing else, if you hate this stuff, all I ask you to do is go to wealthstack.com, go down to the bottom left-hand side, click on the frequently asked questions page, and then copy or just send wealthstack.com to your normie friends, to your people that you've been trying to wake up for a while to get into precious metals. They don't want to buy the physical. They're not comfortable with it, having it in their house. They don't want to take that extra risk, whatever. That's fine. Send them this and go, hey, you want to buy a bit of gold? Buy $100 of gold on the Wealthstack app, okay? You own it. You can sell it anytime, all that kind of stuff, right? And the spot plus 1%, it's a great price too. Cool? Good. That's what you should be doing, because I said so. Final comments, and then we'll get out of here. I stayed in with anticipation we were going to 35 to 37, but maybe not, sadly. Feels like silver premiums are ignoring the dip. Well, yeah, I mean, premiums and the price are a different thing. Yes, correct. So your premiums will, supply and demand. If in this drop, a lot of people are trying to load up, well, premiums may go up a little bit because you want enough to cover for everyone. You don't just want one whale coming in and buying the whole lot because the premiums were cheaper. So you raise the premiums, which stops some people going, oh, I'm not going to buy as much. So then it spreads out the love to everyone. Cool. They had silver in a tight range during Trump's last 4-year term. Hopefully this is not repeated. Yeah, so that's a good point. That's something to think of. And final comments, I think. Thanks, Joe. Got to run, peeps. Have a great day, everyone. You know what? That's my call to leave as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on the 1 hour mark. This has been Good Morning Stackers. A great day. A golden day for the golden age, which is here. I promise you it's going to be a golden age for gold holders, in particular over the next 4 or 5 years. And over the next 4 years, 4 and a bit years, during this new presidency, I think things are going to be better. Probably no new wars, I'd imagine. Economic stuff will be happening, but, let's see. Kelsey, does your crystal ball think Friday market? Don't know. No idea. Sorry, Kelsey, can't say. Am I concerned about SBSW now? I will look at that tomorrow. I'll take a look at the chart. That's it, people. Lastly, we got to dance it out because this has been
Good Morning Stackers.
Oh yeah, we're feeling fine.
Good Morning Stackers.
It's podcast time.
grab it once more.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
Let's do the
Synchronised slurp.
in
Now
3,
we're on the move.
2, 1, slap it.
Good Morning Stackers.
Oh yeah.
Woo! What a great day. Welcome to the Golden Age, people. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking. I'll see you all tomorrow.